Samuel Franklin is a professor of psychology at California State University. In his book, The Psychology of Happiness, A Good Human Life, published in 2010, he states that the legal right to the pursuit of happiness probably means that humans are granted the freedom to become all that they might become. This means that humans have the potential and the freedom to say, be a doctor, be a nurse, and be everything that they really want to. All you gotta do is strive for it. And, well, as humans, have you ever felt like you were just missing something in your life and you didn't know what that was? So let's say you just woke up and you thought about your life and you're like, I really am not fulfilled with anything in my life yet. And you're thinking, what can I do to fulfill my life? Well, Maslow's theory believes that humans go through a hierarchy of needs, and every human has needs. And he believed that in order to become a self-actualized person and be self-fulfilled, you had to go through these needs to get there. And as cited by Bernard Baines and Christopher Hakala in their book Learning and Thinking, published in 2012, the initial concept of human decision-making was that people were entirely rational in the decisions they made, which also Maslow believed that every human had the freedom to make their own decisions, and their behavior was based off of those decisions that they made. So a lot of theorists believe that society played a big role in human behavior, but in reality, the human's decision was what made up their behavior. And every person has their freedom, but what is freedom? Well, according to Kirk Schneider and Ora Krug in their book, Existential Humanistic Therapy, published in 2010, freedom is understood as the capacity for choice within the natural and self-imposed limits of learning. This meaning that freedom does have limits, but there are very few limits. And as a human being, you can surpass these and be everything that you want to be. And today I hope to be able to inform you guys of what you can do as human beings to achieve everything you can, your full potential, and possibly what you could do to improve your chances of self-actualization. That is, becoming all you possibly can as a human being through Maslow's theory. And human psychology is just the study of a person as a whole individual. And most of the time, psychologists group humans as a group by society. But in Maslow's theory, he viewed each person as an individual. Instead of grouping them all together, he believed in individuality and what makes a person by themselves. In every human psychology, the study of looking at the whole person is more important than just grouping them. And every person under the human psychology is believed to have an internal motivation that drives them, pushes them forward to want to become better. So Abraham Maslow believed every person was determined to become their best and to achieve their self-fulfillment. And to do that, he came up with a hierarchy of needs, which we will explain later on. As Salvatore Maddy and Paul Costa said in their book, Humanism and Personology, Alport, Maslow, and Murray, published in 1972, in Maslow's framework, each need is present in every member of the human species. The expression of needs may vary from person to person. So every single one of us does have needs. We just express it differently. So sometimes needs can come up as frustration, anger, sadness, and sometimes people will push forward and make those needs positive needs. And that's what gets them to self-actualization. So with this being said, I will take you into Maslow's theory, which is the hierarchy of needs. And the hierarchy of needs is just a pyramid with the most basic needs at the bottom, building up to the peak of self-actualization, which very few people actually reach. And at the bottom you have your physiological needs. These are your basic needs such as breathing, water, food, sex. And then from there, once those needs are met, you have to move up to your safety needs. Your safety needs are your needs of, I'm safe here, I'm secure, and these are like your job, your safety of health. And sometimes people aren't really happy with their jobs, so they're not exactly fulfilled themselves. And when this happens, well, they're not reaching their full potential and actually moving up this grade of the scale. So once these needs are met, they'll go on to the belonging needs. And these needs are just feelings of acceptance by your peers, your family, society. And when a human being feels like they aren't accepted, this builds tension. And this tension can sometimes be seen as motivation. And once you're motivated with this tension, you will keep moving forward. But if you feel like you aren't belonging, sometimes a human can be trapped in this stage and they can't keep going up forward. The next stage would be your esteem needs. And the esteem needs is just the feeling of being secure within yourself, having confidence, being respected, the esteem needs is the basic foundation for a moderately good self-esteem. And once these needs are met, you're finally able to reach the self-actualization. And your self-actualization needs are the needs that every human attempts to fulfill in their lives, but very few actually do. And this is just self-completement, self-fulfillment. You have reached your full potential growth. And with motivation, as Salvatore Maddy and Paul Costa declared in the book Humanism and Personology, Alfred Maslow and Murray, published in 1972, motivation is caused when there is a need, because the need leads to psychological tension as well as a physical arousal that makes the person act to reduce the tension. So motivation tenses you up, and that pushes you forward to keep moving up these levels of the hierarchy of needs. And, well, if you don't have motivation, you really aren't moving forward and being everything you can in your life. And once the person has become self-actualized, they're happy with their lives. They were able to complete all the stages of the hierarchy of needs according to Maslow, and they have achieved their full potential as a human being. They started from the bottom of the pyramid just as everyone did. Every human being starts with the physiological needs, and they have to be able to motivate themselves to be able to reach self-actualization and be a happy person and live a happy life. And self-actualized people, they got themselves to the self-fulfilling stage. No one else did it for them. Just as Maslow believed that human beings are in control of their own lives. And for a human being to become all they possibly can, they must achieve their basic needs first. And Maslow wanted to display this, so that's why he created the hierarchy of needs. Maslow drives people to someday hopefully achieve everything they can, and that's what his theory was basically about. And Maslow really believed that for a person to live a good life, they had to be self-fulfilled. So as Samuel Franklin once said in his book, The Psychology of Happiness, A Good Human Life, published in 2010, he said that as long as we are in pursuit, moving forward, developing and fulfilling our potential, we have a good human life. So with this being said, under the humanistic view of psychology, many of us humans, we aren't meeting our needs to become our self-fulfilled person. So as long as we are striving and keep pushing forward every day, then we're just getting one step